G'day YouTube, Max right here, and I think we are very, very close, hours even, most likely, to a breakout in Bitcoin. Whether it goes up, whether it goes down, we're going to talk about it right here in this video. So smash that like button and please hit that subscribe. I think only about 30% of my viewers are subscribed to the channel, and we are nipping at the bud of 30,000 subscribers. Let's go ahead, help me push that over the line, get to 30,000 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit that all button, and let's get into this price chart. We're also, by the way, I should mention, we're going to follow on. If you've been following the last few videos I've been making, I am very, very close to putting $1 million bet on Bitcoin here. It's going to be the largest position I've ever taken out in cash. I've had positions grow to more than that, but actually putting that much cash on the table, that's a fun new one for me. And I've been looking for this for a few months, and I think we are working towards an absolutely epic setup to go long Bitcoin. We're going to talk about that in this video too. So, okay, let's follow what we've got. Let's duck in here. And another little cheat, I'll tell you if you ever want to know, are we in a downtrend or an uptrend? It's very simple. Where are all the YouTubers putting their videos? It's like this picture in picture. If I'm in the bottom right, it means we're in an uptrend because the price is normally at the top of the chart. If I'm in the bottom left, it must be we are in a downtrend because I can put my face over there and it doesn't get in the way of the price action. So fun little hack there. All right. Okay, so what's been happening in Bitcoin? So from the moment of this, we've been following this breakdown all the way down here, and I think what's most relevant to what's happening right this second is this symmetrical triangle is, I think you would say, it's being repeated. Okay, so right here, I'll draw it out for you. It's something along the lines of this. And I apologize, I'm not at home, so I don't have my mouse and I don't have my keyboard. I'm a little clumsy on the deal. And something like this. Okay, so we have a repeat. Bitcoin loves to repeat its patterns. It loves to repeat its patterns. Earlier here we see it just went bull flag, it went bull flag, and over here now we're going symmetrical triangle, symmetrical triangle. Now symmetrical triangle is known as a continuation pattern. More often than not, it continues the trend that it was in. So we're in a downtrend clearly. Symmetrical triangle, it continued. Symmetrical triangle, the most likely scenario is we continue down. Now, a couple different things to look at here. The bearish sentiment, if you will, I would suggest is weakening. In the same way that if we go back here, Bitcoin was hitting all-time highs, and it was only just making all-time highs, and it was like yawn. Although we're making all-time highs, you might think that's bearish, but it was doing it in just weaker and weaker ways, and so it was it had less power. What it meant is that the bulls were getting exhausted. And I think what we're seeing here is the beginnings of the bears getting exhausted. This symmetrical triangle is smaller, and a couple different ways. So how do you go? How do you get measure the price drop or create a target after the breakout of a symmetrical triangle? There are actually two ways. The first way, I showed it to you right here, is you can take this line here, okay, the height of the triangle, and you go to the breakout and put it down there. And actually, I did do that wrong because you can't take the first peak. It's from the second peak in. So it was actually here. That one right there. And you take it and you bring it in, and that's how I got this yellow line here, and how we correctly predicted. Let me actually get rid of that one. How I correctly predicted, you'll see right here. Here is where that first stalled out. Okay, so that was right there. It's where that first stalled out. We found support where that went. But there is another way to do it. The other way to do it predicted the ultimate end of this. It's the size of this drop before the flag, almost like the flagpole to the bull flag, or this would be the bear flag. So actually, no, it's got to be vertical. So you can start here and come down to, well, I mean, arguably even there. That wick was a little bit, no, just to the pennant. Let's just go to there, even though maybe the wick was the right way to do it. And you'll see now we find ourselves at, this gave us the second target, which is where this one ultimately went to. Okay, let's keep that up our sleeve a little bit. Let's get me on order. That's what I want. I want that pennant to increase in size. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do something else. I think it's just going to make the video a little better. I'm going to take me. I'm going to put me up there. There you go. I think that's going to work out better. Okay. So, okay, we've got the beginnings of this symmetrical triangle. Now, symmetrical triangles hardly ever go to the apex. Typically, they break out about 2/3 to 3/4 of the way through. So we are right in this kind of a zone. I would say probably by the end of the day, we are going to break out either up or down. Now, typically, as I said, there's a continuation pattern. I think the most likely scenario is we are breaking down, which is exactly what we want if you've been following the bigger picture here. I have been looking for, I'll take you here. Let's go to the weekly. Let's take a look at the 21 weekly dealio. And we can see here, this purple line here represents the 21-week moving average. Climbing, climbing, climbing. We are Sunday here. We are just 10 hours away from a candle close. When we get that candle close, this line is going to snap to the middle of the next bar, and you'll have over here. And it's going to be at something along the lines of 45,000, right? Something right in here on 44 or 45,000. The 21-week moving average is the worst kept secret in all of Bitcoin. Everybody knows. It's probably no, actually, the most worst kept secret would be the 4-year cycle. The second worst kept secret would be the 21-week moving average. Everybody and their dog is going to be looking at this 21-week moving average. Okay, so I've been looking for months and months and months to look for this regression back to the 21-week moving average so I can place a large leveraged bet. And we just haven't had the opportunity. We've been trading and making money in here, but we haven't gone as Raoul Pal would say, an irresponsibly long bet because we've been so far from the 21-week moving average that it just hasn't made a lot of sense to do so. The risk reward wasn't there. But as we come down to it, this becomes more and more appealing. Now, there's no guarantee we're going to get all the way to it. Lord knows I've been wanting it to come back. During this bump, I wanted to come back. During this downtrend, I wanted to come back, and it just didn't. And it's quite possibly that the bulls will take control at any minute and just run away with it. And for the purpose of my bet here, that would be sad. What I want to see is it continues to come down. Let's go ahead, kick back to the daily. A few things I want to show you there. Number one, this red line. So on April 20th, right here, I drew this red squiggly line, right? Arguably, the leading indicator in all of Bitcoin, my red squiggly lines. I haven't drawn one for a few months, but when I draw them, they just, I don't know, I'm blessed, and I believe me, it's obviously a little bit more luck than anything. They have just turned out to be incredibly prophetic. So now you'll notice I drew this red line. I should have drawn the rest of it here, but I drew this red line down to this vertical blue line. Quick recap, what the hell is this vertical blue line? These vertical blue lines that I've put on here is the last Friday of the month. What happens on the last Friday of the month? Bitcoin futures expire. You will notice last Friday of the month, it was the lowest price in this entire 1 month trend. Here, we're within 2 days of the whole 1 month trend, the down and up. Here, we were within 2 days of the whole trend. Well, we're now April 25th. We've still got ourselves about 5 more days till the close of the month. So another piece of data that tells me I think this symmetrical triangle is going to break down. All right, so everything's looking like we're going to be breaking down. Let's take a quick look at the indicators. Actually, I would love to see, we're on the daily, yes. I would love to see this RSI. Let me bring it out. You'll see the RSI currently at 32. In order to get to here, we have to go all the way back to March of 2020. So that is a full 12 months before when we were here. March 2020, of course, that was the pandemic collapse. Bitcoin went down 50% in a day in March of 2020. That's the last time. Now, the RSI stands for Relative Strength Index. It gives you an indication of when if it's below, if it's down if it's below this purple band, if it's down low, it means that Bitcoin is oversold, and the bulls are going to step back in. When it's above the purple line, it's an indicator that it's overbought, and it means that it's the bears. Sorry, the bulls are going to disappear, and the bears are going to take back control. And it oscillates between these two regions. It can never escape. The bounds are 0 and 100. Now, in a bull trend, the RSI can live up high. You can see it lives up high, and we're up to spend a lot of time up here. We hardly spend any time down here at all. Any time. And so one of two things. You can take this, the bears have control, and there's no doubt about that over the last couple of weeks. And this descending trend line in RSI always I've talked about this for weeks, really gave us the indication. We got this obvious downtrend in the RSI, and yet at the same time the price is going up. It was a big red flag for divergence, and it would suggest that what happened. The price was going to go down, RSI was going to break down, but now that it's down, it really does not live, not in a bull market. In a bear market, so we're back here in 2019, bear market, all of a sudden this RSI can live down there for months at a time. In a bull market, you see it's the only time it's been here in over a year. It's very rare that it comes down here. But now that it's here, one of two indicators. It's either the signal that the 2021 bull market is over, done, stick a fork in it, take your profits, go home. We've got a year of bear in front of us. I do not think that is the case. I think that this is just a healthy pullback. And one of the leading arguments for that is we are still above the 21-week moving average. It's healthy to come back to the 21-week moving average. The fact that we have the RSI down here, I just think this is going to come back. We will look back at this as an incredible buying opportunity, right? While we're here, let's jump in to the money flow. This is another indicator that I use. It's similar to the RSI in that it is bound by 0 and 100, I believe, and it's clearly, you can see here we're looking at about 4 years of data, and it oscillates. Similar concept. When it's down here, it means the sentiment is in the toilet, and it looks like the bears have control. No doubt they do, but it's saying, hey, this is way oversold. Bitcoin is oversold. The bulls are going to jump back in and take control of this. So I absolutely love that these two indicators are both down here. So now, if you like me, you're like, okay, I don't believe the 2021 bull market is over. I've got these two indicators saying that Bitcoin is oversold and it's a good buying opportunity. Now, so when do we get in now, or do we wait a little bit and get in a little bit later? And because of this symmetrical triangle, because of this continuation pattern, because of this right here, I think, and obviously the leading indicator among Bitcoin enthusiasts, the squiggly red lines I draw, we still have some downside, right? Step one. Step two, we haven't hit the last Friday of the month. Typically, as I showed you earlier, within a day or two of that is the bottom, okay? So I think we still have more to go. Now, but it looks so good and so juicy. RSI down here, money flow down here, all this price action down here. All of those things suggest that it's a great buy. Bitcoin is a great buy right now. Maybe I'm being a little bit greedy, but I'm going to wait a few days. I'm going to wait. I want to see, and even one day will tell me. It's entirely possible that the next day or two we might see a big wick down, and that's the best price we see. That is absolutely a possibility. Now, it's a brave person to run into a burning building, right? We have this clear downtrend, and to just try and set a low limit order and just kind of grab it when it wicks down and try and get the absolute bottom. This is not what you would consider great trading form. You might be a hero and get it right, but it's not considered great trading form. The trend is your friend until the end. You've heard it over and over again. You really want to wait for some kind of confirmation that this is the end. And so, listen, as we get closer to the end of the month, I think I might try and be a hero and grab it when it wicks down. Set a limit order in there where I think I'm going to get filled and snatch it. Right now, with still 5 days to go to the end, I'm holding out. There's one more really good indicator, which is a really good sign of when things are about to flip, and that is the stochastic RSI. This is an indicator. You got the two lines, right? You have the red and the blue. Now, when the blue takes over the red, and let me go back because I want to show you how, that's not really doing it. Sometimes, I'm surprised by that. Sometimes this indicator can stay at 0 or stay at 100, like for days and even weeks. And what's happening there, this this indicator, it kind of it's designed. It actually has a lot of oscillations. It goes up and down a lot, and it moves quickly. What you're looking for on this indicator is when it switches, meaning when blue climbs above red, or when blue falls below red, right? That's an indicator that, okay, this is switching. So it can stay up here for days. It can just travel sideways for a little bit. And you'll see here, okay, here's the switch, and all of a sudden it goes all the way to the other end. We haven't seen a switch in the stochastic RSI yet, okay? Another indicator suggesting we've got a little bit further to go. Maybe in a few days, as we get closer to this blue line, this might go boom, blue line above that, and all of a sudden then all of a sudden we'll have congruence between the vertical blue line last Friday of the month. We'll see what's happening in the price chart. The stochastic RSI might give us some confidence that this is over. And all of this, if we do take a leg down, we get ourselves to that 21-week moving average. Really important. It'll be another indicator that we're at the bottom. All of this stuff gives us courage, I would argue. Gives me, I shouldn't say us, I'm not your financial advisor, you do you. But it would give me confidence to be aggressive and try and grab something as it wicks down. Don't wait for it to come back up to 50 or 55 or whatever it's got to be, form a new high, and you're looking for that confirmation that the trend has been reversed. Let me take a look at the weekly stochastic RSI. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. See how it can come up here and it can just kind of stay there for several weeks. This can happen, right? What you're looking for is for when it to switch. And actually, according to the guy who made this indicator, you actually don't just wait for it to switch. You wait for it to switch and enter the purple zone, meaning come below 80, or if you're down here, you wait for it to switch and go above 20. That's what you're looking for with the stochastic RSI. So, okay, let's put that there. I do want to, we're getting close enough now to where it warrants an examination of something a little more terrifying. What if the bull market's over? What if we just go down, we head on down to 10, 20K, and we're not back here for like a year or two? What is the argument? What is the case to say that that is a reality and that is what we're doing? Okay, the first thing you would want to consider is if we breach the 21-week moving average and close below it, that would be a pretty scary sign. That would be a very scary sign. If that does not hold, we may have some serious issues. Let's have a look. Pardon me. Where's my indicators? Is it that one? Yes, it is that one. And I don't want to be on the weekly. Let's go to the daily. Okay. These bars on the right-hand side, they're volume bars. You're probably used to seeing them at the bottom. They tell you how much volume there was during the day. These bars tell us how much volume there was during a given price range. So, during the most amount of trading took place during this price range, around about the 56,000 mark, right? So we can see here we have found support. We have found support. There was a lot of volume. This was a peak on this histogram here, sideways histogram. There's a peak here. After this, it gets really thin all the way down to quite a ways. And so that is for sure a little bit concerning. That is for sure a little bit concerning. Yeah, that is okay. Let's move on. That's concern number one. If we go down from here, we don't have much price support. If we break down from here, it gets really thin, all the way down into the 30s. Okay, concern number one. Let me get rid of that indicator. Let's talk about the breakdown. Let me get back to. I'll go to the hourly for this one. And let's get you off. Let's get you up. Okay. So remember, one of the ways we go from here to here, and we drag this to. If it breaks down to the south, where does it take us to? 46. That will be 46,400. That's going to be really, really close to the 21 week moving average. I think, remember, in about 10 hours we'll find out where that's going to be. It's going to be at around about 45. Is that right? Is my memory serving correctly? About 45. Okay, so this one is telling us it's going to be there. Let's take a look at this scenario where we go. The breakout would be from here all the way down to the bottom. This scenario would take us down to 41. 41 is the next big target, but my problem with 41, and I'll kick back to the daily for this one. My problem with 41 is that there's just not a lot here. 41 gives us a couple of interesting points. It gives us the bottom of this trend here, where we found support. It gives us the top of this one here, where we found resistance. And I love big candles through lines of support. To me, it's almost another indicator. So you've got, when it bounces off, it was resistance. When it bounces off, it was support. Great indicators. Big wicks through trends, because it battles and when it and then it needs a lot of momentum to push through a trend line. So I love big candles through trend lines. To me, it's almost another confirmation of the trend line. So that is a little bit wonky. That's not a horizontal line. The horizontal line was closer to here, and so there's an argument there. What? Bring me my what's this one give me? Yeah, my problem with that trend line though is look at this volume bar. It was the least amount of volume, so I think that's a weak area to consider. So I mean, the symmetrical triangle is presenting an argument for it, but the horizontal volume bars are saying there's nothing there. There's nothing there at all. If it go through there, probably your next bet is into this area here, and you're looking at like 35,000. Now 35,000, that would be an absolute disaster. That would be an absolute destruction of the 21-week moving average. And that might absolutely well and truly be an indicator of end of bull market. 2021 is over. Pack up your bat and ball and go home. So, okay, the reason I want to do that, I think it's worthy to pay attention to that to pay attention to that scenario. So, okay, now let's come up with a strategy. I want to walk you through my strategy, my thinking. The question becomes, if we get down here, do I place this large leverage bet? Remember, with a leveraged bet, you can't just hold. Like, I'm talking about a 5x leverage. What that means is, if I do not guess within 20% of the bottom, I lose everything. Okay? If I buy, let's say I buy at 40 with a 5x leverage bet. If the price gets to 32, I lose the entire bet. All right? I will get liquidated. I will get closed out of the trade, lose everything. So if you're going to have a leverage bet, it's really important that you get close to the bottom. All right? So I really want to be confident that we are near the bottom. So right now I'm weighing up the things. I'm weighing up blue line. Last Friday of the month, been a pretty good indicator that was the bottom. I'm weighing up the 21-week moving average. Historically an amazingly good indicator of the bottom of these bull years at this particular time of the bull years. I won't do it through for you guys again. Go back and look at 2017, look at the 21-week moving average. Bounced off it a lot, right? And I've got to weigh into all that every man and their dog knows about the 21-week moving average, which means I think there's going to be a lot of bulls looking to jump in on that. So now you got to have a problem. Do you go anywhere? Do you like set your limit buy order at the 21-week moving average, or maybe just a little bit up because you really want to make sure you get filled, right? Versus if it crashes through that, I don't see much support for quite a way. Sadly, well, about 20% wrong. So 20% south of the 21-week moving average is kind of the next place that it will really. There's an argument for 41, but it's a little bit of a weak argument. The next place before that is in the mid 30s, and all of a sudden I'm getting that is 20% below if I set my limit order at the 21-week moving average, for example. That would mean liquidation, lost the entire bet. Okay, so starting to weigh that up, and it's a little bit hairy, a little bit dicey. But you factor in the fact that, look, this is the 2021 bull market. You only get these chances every 4 years. And usually you get this move to the 21-week moving average a little more often, but we haven't. This is the first one we've had for the whole year. You add all those things in, and I am leaning towards still going ahead with this trade. I'm going to be crystal clear. This is money I can afford to lose. Okay? So don't bet the farm on this. I don't recommend that at all. But I'm just being playful. Another thing, I think $1 million bet, whatever. I think it's going to be some fun YouTube videos. I might get a lot of money back, even if I lose the bet. I might get a lot back just from the views in YouTube. So it'll be I've got a little bit of a hedge right there, right? So that's a fun one. Not really. I make about $1,000 a month on YouTube. It's a neither here nor there thing. So yeah, so okay, this is really interesting. Thank you for being a subscriber to the channel, guys. Let's see if we can hit that $30,000. Let me know in the comments below. Are you still waiting? I think we're going to see a breakout from this triangle like soon, today. I think it's most likely going to go down. If it goes down, are you just going to capture a wick at the bottom and try and grab something, or are you going to wait until the end of the month? Or do you think that this bear trend has more in it and you are not interested in buying Bitcoin until we are below the 21-week moving average? Let me know in the comments below. Help me get to 30,000 likes. And please, let's see if we can hit 2,000 likes on this video. Please, let's see if we can hit 2,000 likes, because this is a message that needs to get out. This is a really fun one, a really fun action. It's a great setup. It's not the best because I really don't like that there isn't much support between that 21-week moving average and a significant step down into the 30s. I would love another really solid backstop. It's okay if you go through the 21-week moving average. Let's see, like you go through and then you find support, then you can come back up. I would love to see that. It's not there, which would make this an even safer bet, but I still think this is a really, really good bet. If we can get down in here towards the 45s, 46s, we could be in for a really, really good Bitcoin buy. All right, guys, thanks so much, and I will see you later.